last summer was a bummer. I ain't even get to ride around in a Hummer. Chillin' on the island looking for booty to plunder. Met a little shorty, got a number, we been chillin' since TMNT, where I got it out the gutter. Got away with words, it's my bread and my butter. Grandma passed on my birthday and that's word to my mother. And she just kicked me out the crib, man, we ain't been talking since.
Hey guys, so guess what? Me and two of my friends actually started a business, which is why I was probably away for so long. We sell all natural and organic lip glosses, body butters, and lip and body scrubs. So if you guys want to order, go to 7andco.com.
Thanks. Anyways, as you can see by the title, I have another juicy story time for you guys, and I don't know the specific age, either from 17 to 19. I'm not really sure. I really think I was still in high school at this time, but it was around there. I'm not sure. Anyways, so, and I feel like the person that this story time happened with, he's probably going to see the video and probably going to laugh. But if you are watching, I'm telling this story to the best of my ability, what I could remember. And me and him are actually cool, which is why I'm laughing. So, I don't know, like, because this happened during a rough time in my life, I don't really know how this started. But I remember sitting in this boy's house, right? Yeah, I was sitting in his house, and we were, I think, in the living, yes, we were in the living room. We were in the living room, and I think we were already, like, beefing or something. Like, we was already at war with each other, low-key. And disclaimer, I have a problem getting kicked out of places. Like, when you kick me out, it makes me literally want to stay longer. Like, I don't know what it is about my pride, but when people kick me out, no, now I'm staying. So that's exactly what I feel like. He told me to go home, or something along the lines of go home, I don't want you here type thing. And I said, no, I'm staying. So I remember vividly this part, turning on the living room TV and literally sitting on his couch as if he didn't just say go home or something. I turned the TV on. I think I was watching it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And he was watching me, like, from his dining room. And I'm sure he was tight that I turned the TV on instead of going home. And then he turns the TV off. Another problem with me is when I'm watching something and someone, like, turns the TV off, or they interrupt and step in front of the TV. Like, that boils my blood. He turned the TV off while I was watching it, and something in me was like, violate. Even though he told me to go home, violate. So I got back up and turned the TV back on. And at this point, I think that we started fighting over trying to keep the TV on, and he's trying to turn it off and telling me to go home. Anyways, I managed to get the TV on, and I sit back down, and I feel like I think before I sat back down, the TV was already off. Like, he turned it off. And at this point, I'm livid. I'm tight. Now I want to fight. So I remember walking back to the TV, and there was a pen on his TV stand. Like, I remember grabbing the pen and literally, like, did I go to jail? Like, slipping it in my like, sleeve. And he didn't see, obviously. And I remember, like, there was 2 ways in his house to get to the kitchen, and he went the dining room way, and I went around towards, like, the front door or whatever, and met him in the kitchen. And I remember threatening to stab him, and I don't know how the conversation got to the point where I needed to stab him, but he just kept telling me to get out, stop threatening him, and leave. I don't know what kind of drugs I was on, but I ran up the steps into his room to trash his room. I don't know what he did to me to get me this angry. Went upstairs to trash his room. He followed me up there, and we start tussling. And I'm like, I'm definitely not leaving now because you done hit me. I'm not leaving. Like, where was the danger, go home response in my brain? I don't know. After that, I go downstairs, and I remember this part vividly, because to this day, like, I cannot even eat Chinese dumplings because the smell of the sauce makes me sick because of this day. And that was like almost 10 years ago. So his brother was on the couch when I got back downstairs eating dumplings with the Chinese dumplings with the sauce and watching the TV. So I sat next to his brother and watched whatever cartoon his brother was watching. Wait, I skipped the part. This is how it got, I think this is how it got heated. He had a PlayStation on top of the stand, and I think I tried to slide it off. It was pretty high. It's probably like here to me when I'm standing. And I tried to slide his PlayStation off the stand. I think that's why it got so heated. Yeah, I think it was me. Anyways, so then his brother sitting down. I'm sitting down next to his brother watching TV, and this boy come downstairs and he was like, "You have to leave." I'm like, "No, you're gonna have to literally pick me up and put me out." We start fighting, like literally throwing hands, fighting, and obviously I'm not winning because he's a boy and we were almost the same size, but it wasn't my talent to fight. So we start fighting, and none of my hits is like doing anything, and I'm like, oh, none of them, bro, is working, nothing. And I done burnt out all my energy at this point, and I'm tired. Next thing I see, I think we stopped tussling, and next thing I see, his cousin walks in the door, bro. Now his cousin at the time had to be like 6 something, and I was like 5'5", maybe 5'4", 5'5", maybe 112 pounds. His cousin was some, yeah. In my head, I'm like, why didn't I just go home before? But because I had so much pride, I said, nah, I'm fighting both of y'all off because ain't no way y'all finna pick me up and put me out. So I'm still fighting. I think his cousin is watching us fight at this point. The boy, like, I just feel my feet leave the floor, and I feel my body ascending in the air. I felt like I was transcending. My soul was transcending to heaven, because all I felt next was my back hit the couch, and he had a leather couch, bro. It's like the skin of my back, like, you know, like when you do a belly flop in the water and your skin slapped. That's what it felt like. This boy took me up top. I felt my body leave the floor, like there was no gravity. And then he slammed me so hard on the couch that the last bit of breath that I had in my body was gone. I felt like I could not breathe for a good 5 seconds. I was like, like I could not breathe. At this point, I knew you should have left when you had the opportunity to. But because I was already in the midst, I said, I cannot go out like this. So I thought maybe if I hit another, should have just packed it up and left. So after that, I'm completely out of breath. I'm winded. I have no energy. This boy grabs my feet and his cousin grabbed my hands, and they literally are like wheelbarrowing. What is like a wheelbarrow type of carry? Literally my hands and feet, and I'm kicking. I'm not strong enough to like get him off of me, and they literally carried me to the door and dropped me on the front step. Now let me tell you, first of all, by the time I realized y'all really carried me out the house like that, I had one shoe and I didn't have a car at this time, so I literally had to walk back home. I had one shoe. I didn't have my bag. The bag was still in the house. My pants leg was like pulled all the way up, and I had a big old bruise on my thigh, like that turned purple and blue type bruise. So I could barely walk. I'm limping. I got one shoe and no bag, no phone. So I'm banging on the door like, I left my bag. I want my bag. You know what they do? They open up the door a little bit and throw my bag on the steps and close back the door. I'm like, how the heck did I get here? Not when they threw my bag out the door. At this point, I'm so tight. I see the skate. I bought him at the time. He longboard, and I see the longboard that I had bought him like a couple months ago on the step. So I literally, one shoe, mind you, because I was too embarrassed to knock back on the door to get the other shoe. I'm not. Y'all not finna throw my shoe in the street. So I just limped down the block, and like by our house, there's like this abandoned like building type thing. But whatever, there's an abandoned building and there's a really tall fence, tall enough that you would literally have to climb all the way up to get over. So I like launched the skateboard over the fence, because at this time that was his transportation. He didn't take the bus that often. He usually longboarded everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, you take my shoe and throw me out? Right. Threw the longboard over, and then I literally limped with one shoe, literally all the way on Farmers, all the way back home. Do you hear me? One shoe. I had on a slipper. That means I didn't have no socks. I had on sweatpants, slippers, and a little light hoodie. It was like spring or summer. Limping home with one shoe on, looking crazy. I get home, my mom and my brother see me, and they're like, at this point, like, I had so many crazy experiences that they're like, what did you do? And I'm like, nah, I really got beat up. And nobody took me serious. I really got beat up. Wow. I really got beat up. But I'm sure I caused it. So this was a quick story time. But moral of the story is, please do not put your hands on nobody if you, number one, know you can't beat them. Please don't put your hands on nobody, boy, girl, dog, cat, because when they hit you back, that's your fault. Do not put your hands on nobody unless it's absolutely warranted. That's my story time. This was a really short one, but I had to get that story out because I've been laughing at myself for the past couple of days, ever since the new year started, and I'm like, nah, I really gotta tell all my funny stories, because why did I do that? When people tell you to leave, just leave. Just go. My mom taught me, know when to leave the party. Know when to go home. Okay? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn your post notifications on so you'll be the first to know when I post again.